That game could decide the 1 seed in the AFC. That is an enormous Thursday night football game.
We'll get to the Bears and the Rams in a second, but first, a touchdown heard around the world. Dolphins' Ryan Tannehill passed to Kenny Stills at midfield. Stills tossed a lateral to Devontae Parker, who lateral to running back Kenyon Drake. Then Drake was off and running, eluding Patriots defenders, and headed for the win.
See, Kenyon Drake was looking for someone to lateral to before he realized, wait, nobody's going to tackle me, huh?
Yeah, it was. I mean, he had to make a decision right there. Yep. I mean, because he didn't want to go out of bounds. You don't want to be the guy in this who gets tackled with the football.
Right.
So immediately you're looking for where you're going to go next.
Juju Smith-Schuster makes an incredible toe tap.
Man, my wide receiver coach used to put a mat, Sarah, behind the end zone and tell us, hey, I just want you guys to fall on it like you're falling into a swimming pool. That's how you learn how to do the toe tap. It's like, hey, coach, man, that thing's still a little hard. Just fall on the mat, son. Yes, sir. No problem. That's how you learn how to do that. Back of the end zone.
That should have been the game-winning touchdown. Instead, the Steelers' defense collapsed.
Chiefs, Ravens, Patrick Mahomes has shown us he can make any throw, but look at this. No-look pass. This kid is just insane.
I know our friend Coach Mangini, not impressed with the no-look pass. I am impressed. See, you've been around this game how long? 30-some years, right?
Yep, longer than you've been alive. I wish you realized that when them takes you have.
How many times have you seen this in a game?
Haven't seen it in a game. Seen it in practices. Seen guys play around with it. But this was amazing. You know that window's there. A little no-look. Keep your head down the field for the safety. Keep them in the middle. Throw it in that window, have a guy run into it.
Unreal. Finally, Baker Mayfield shows off his arm with a 51-yard strike to Jarvis
Wasn't better than that throw.
No. See, you called this game.
55 yards on a rope between the defenders. Cornerback coming off the outside guy. Eric Reed trying to stay with the crossing route. This is one of the best throws of the season.
Man, I thought this was good coverage. I didn't think the Panthers made some big mistake here. This was just a spectacular throw by
These are the types of catches you like to make on the defender, because you're right, Nick. It was great coverage. And the DB's like, man, I was there. I was like, yep, you were there just enough to be in the highlight. Eat that.
On to Sunday Night Football, the Bears defense dominated the Rams. They picked off Jared Goff 4 times, sacked him 3 times, and held Todd Gurley to less than 60 total yards. Bears get the 15-6 win to improve to 9-4 on the season. CeCe, what message did the Bears send to the NFL with their 15-6 defensive domination of the Rams?
The Monsters of the Midway, which they had the nickname in the 80s. That's how they won their Super Bowl with the 85 Bears. I played in Chicago a long time. Soldier Field, long time. That's a tough place to play. And now you put that type of defense on the field, spectacular at all 3 levels. Great defensive front, great rotation of guys that they can put pressure on the quarterback with the minimum. They don't have to blitz.
Right.
Good linebacking core. Sideline to sideline. Man, it's sure tackling. Corners on the outside, very, very dependable, and playmakers, safeties making plays and not mental lapses where they give up a lot of big plays. This is a dominant defense. That was one of those signature performances that if you're going to play that way, when you face a team like this is what you want to be able to do. And, man, don't let the Bears get home field advantage, because that is a place you don't want to go. That is one of the serious home field advantages. And if this team can overcome a young quarterback, if they are able to overcome a young quarterback, man, they are a dangerous, dangerous football team. I love the way that Nagy, the head coach there, called his plays, took some chances, took some risks, and even though his quarterback wasn't playing good, he still put him out there. Man, throw the ball down the field. He kept calling plays to let the quarterback know, I have confidence in you, so he's still in that developmental stage. Impressive win last night.
If you'd have told me that Mitch Trubisky in this game was going to throw for 110 yards and 3 interceptions and have a passer rating of 33 and be the better quarterback on the field, I wouldn't have believed you, and it would have seemed impossible. That's what happened last night, because this Bears defense the Ravens have the #1 statistical defense, and they do have an ability to kind of slowly choke you out. The Bears have an ability to seemingly flip the game on every defensive snap. I've never seen a quick strike defense, but it feels like that's what Chicago has.
Well, last time they went to the Super Bowl, they created all the turnovers. Peanut, Tillman, Urlacher, and them. They were very, very similar to this. but they didn't have the front seven. They didn't have those bookend rushers, the type of pressure you could put on teams then. So for me, this team is more equipped to do something dynamic than that team that went to the Super Bowl, that Rex Grossman was their quarterback. I believe in their potential and what they can do offense as far as running the ball and the variance in skill. Putting Cohen on the outside, getting him on the edge. I believe they still have the potential to have a special season.
And I was trying to, before the show, think of what recent defenses can I compare this one to, and I said the Broncos defense went to the Super Bowl. But see, you made a great point, which that what that Broncos defense had was a dominant pass rush, most notably Von Miller, and then 2 lockdown corners. But they had little holes elsewhere. Teams couldn't really exploit them. The middle linebacker, like the safeties were particularly a hole for that Broncos team. That is not the case with the Bears. This Bears team, it feels like, has, of their 11 starters, 9 of them are A- or better players, and the ability for them to get pressure without blitzing, for Khalil Mack to have another strip sack without having to send 6 or 7 guys, it's really hard to account for. And I knew that a really good defense could slow down the Rams somewhat. I didn't think anybody was holding the Rams to 6 points. Like, I didn't think anyone was going to hold the Saints to 10 points the way they did. And to hold the Rams to 6 points and to have Jared Goff look like he was a rookie again. Have Jared Goff look confused, skittish, not stepping into his throws. He was rattled from the word go yesterday. A very impressive win for him.
I don't see a lot of quarterbacks, I don't see a lot of quarterbacks playing in that situation. Yesterday's game, he had a couple hits to the head. They didn't call, a couple face masks in the pocket. They collapsed the pocket. Akeem Hicks, man, he's playing tremendous football interior for them. So I don't see a lot of quarterbacks that would have played well in that type of environment that was in Chicago, was spectacular under the national stage and everything. Really, really impressed with the Bears and the way they attacked the Rams.
But when it comes to the Bears quarterback, you've mentioned Trubisky and being inconsistent. Do you think that with that defense, they can still overcome that type of quarterback play to make a long run in the playoffs?
This is the thing. They're going to have some guys on the outside, Allen Robinson and then the other young receivers, be able to make some plays. Trubisky does have a good arm. So I like the way that Nagy called the plays, that he wasn't afraid even after some mistakes, because he's got a big-time arm. No, he's got an NFL arm, and he's still very, very young. People forget he only started 1 year at North Carolina. So people talk about Dwayne Haskins at Ohio State. One of the guys they compare him to is Trubisky, because he had that one spectacular season there at North Carolina, came into the pros. He's still in that developmental stage. I still believe that the Bears have their franchise quarterback, because I believe Nagy will get the best out of him.
And the other thing that's great for Chicago in this specific game and this matchup is it's going to be very hard for them to get to the 1 or the 2 line. Like, they are probably, their ceiling is probably the 3 seed. But if you're the 3 seed, if you win your first game, you go to one of those 2 teams that did get a bye. Right now, that'd be the Rams. And they have now in their, legit, even though that would be on the road, I didn't think the weather played a huge factor in last night's football game. It wasn't snowing, it wasn't rain, it wasn't super windy. I know it was cold, but I think they now credibly can believe, oh, we can go on the road and not only play with these guys, but beat these guys. I think a lot of teams are intimidated by the Rams offense. The Bears were not last night and would not be if they played them, even if it was in Los Angeles.
All right, coming up, are the Steelers toast after losing 3 in a row? That is next on First Things First.